so Kale and I are testing out our short sticks and long sticks in these mortises. The precision of these dowel manufacturers is not like to a millionth of an inch. So sometimes there will be inconsistencies in the diameter. So we are just checking that there are no dowels that are way too oversized and will not go into the mortise. And if we do have that situation, we can block plane down that dowel until it fits into the mortise. I'm trying to think, I think this guy is, no, that guy's good. That guy's not okay.
This one's a little big, so.
This one's a little big too, but it's also like, you don't want it to be loose. We're gonna, hammer it home, but
totally.
I would say this guy, you have not passed the test. Okay, so one thing we have to take care of before we do our final glue up is kerf the short sticks. So I will only be kerfing the top of the short sticks. We didn't do through mortises on this chair, so we're not wedging the bottom of the chair. But just like with the legs, we're wedging these tenons to make the joint stronger, and we are going to kerf this 1.25 inches down the way. So I just put some tape here to mark that, and I'm just gonna kerf these short sticks. So glue ups with all these long sticks and short sticks and arm bows can be really chaotic. So we want to make things as easy as possible for ourselves. So one thing we're going to do is we are going to chamfer the bottom of the short sticks and both ends of the long sticks. So this just gives us assurance that when the short sticks go into the seat and when the long sticks go into the seat and the comb, you just have a little bit more wiggle room. And the way we usually do this is with this plumbing chamfer tool. This is a couple bucks at the home center, but there's a ton of ways to do this. You can use a pocket knife, you can use a block plane, you can even just use sandpaper. We're just trying to break this edge a bit so it gives us an easier entry point into these mortises. All right, and lastly, before glue up, this is our final chance to mess with our arm bow. So Kale and I decided we're gonna leave this pretty simple. We're just gonna take some sandpaper and break the edges, but you can do whatever you want with this arm bow. You can give it a chamfer, you can give it a round over, you can carve something onto the end of the hands. It's up to you, but just based on the tools that we have available for this book, we're just gonna break the edges with sandpaper. And our plywood looks pretty good, but if you do have some voids in the side of your plywood, you can use wood putty to fill that in. All right, everybody, it's time for glue up. I'm not worried, and you shouldn't be either. We just gotta make sure that we have everything prepped so our glue up goes smoothly. So I have my stool here, I have my arm bow prepped and ready to go. We have our 9 long sticks chamfered on both edges, and we have our 8 short sticks chamfered on one edge and kerfed. We have 8 5/8 inch wedges for the short sticks. I have a bucket of water, Dixie cup of PVA glue, glue brush, toothbrush, wet rag, my yardstick, a hammer, and a block to protect our arm bow when we're hammering it in. All right, so here's how this is gonna go. We are going to put glue in the short stick mortises on the seat, put our short sticks in, hammer them home. Then we're going to place the arm bow on top of the short sticks. And once you have your arm bow placed on your short sticks, you're gonna hammer it home so that the arm bow is 8 inches off the seat. After that, we're gonna put glue in the long stick mortises, and then we're gonna thread our long sticks in through the back of the arm bow. And note, there is no glue on the long stick arm bow mortises. Then we'll check again that the arm bow is 8 inches off the seat, and once you've verified that, it's time to wedge your short stick tenons. Are we ready to do this? All right, and remember we have our short sticks, kerf at one end, chamfer at the other end, chamfer side down. And in a traditional stick chair, you would orient the kerf perpendicular to the grain because that will prevent the wood from splitting when you wedge it. We don't need to do that with this technically because the arm is plywood, but we're still gonna orient all the kerfs the same way just for aesthetics. So I don't know if you saw the shock on my face, but we didn't do through mortises, but we did just about through mortises. You can see the point of the spade bit pokes through the bottom of the seat. And so there's not a lot of material that's gonna stop these sticks when we hammer them home. So it's very easy to bust straight through, so just be aware of that. And see, I'm actually like being insane. All right, so now it's time to put our arm bow on really quick. Let's check that our arm bow is the right side up. You want the angle going back like this because I feel like it could be very easy to glue on your arm bow upside down. So I'm gonna put glue on these mortises and put this arm bow on. And you almost certainly will need to wrangle these sticks into place. They're not gonna be perfectly straight, and that's totally fine. This long grain is very strong, so they can handle bending like that. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm getting so excited. All right, so I have all my short sticks inside the mortises, so now it's just time to hammer it home and check that the arm bow is 8 inches from the seat. And usually this is a terrifying part for chair makers in the assembly process because when you do a real wood arm bow, it can be incredibly fragile and it's very common to have these arms break, but this is plywood, so we don't have to worry about that. So I'm just going bananas. Oh my God. Save it,
yeah,
I know.
Totally. Yeah, let's just push it down.
So, okay, so we still have about a ½ inch to go, so. Okay, still got a bit of a ways to go. Yeah, it's okay. We're at 8 inches around, so we're gonna move on. Do I look like I'm in jail? Ah! Right, I don't have a ton of excess glue to squeeze out. Okay. Very comfy. And really quick, after I've put my long sticks in, I'm gonna check for 8 inches again. Yeah, good enough. All right, that's done.
Okay, Bridgid has successfully glued up the arm, the sticks. She did a great job.
Oh my God!
Now, before we wedge our short sticks, we need to dock them. So this is the same thing that we did with our leg tenons when we took them down before we wedged them. I have my piece of underlayment here with a hole in it. I'm sticking it over the tenon, and I'm using the same flush cut saw that I've used for everything else before. The reason why we take our tenons down is because it would be really difficult to try to get a wedge into a tenon this long. Basically, the tenon would kind of just pop it back out. By docking our tenons, it's a lot easier to insert a tenon and get it deeper into the stick, causing a stronger joint. All right, I've taken my tenons down and I've gone ahead and wedged one of our tenons. We did this already when we wedged our leg tenons, so it's the same concept, nothing's new. I have my glue here and a pile of 5/8 wide tenons that Bridgid cut earlier. I'm going to brush glue on either side of the wedge. All of our curves are still really visible, which is great. But in case they weren't, we could open them up with a chisel, kind of like we did with the leg tenon. But I can just continue wedging. I love chicken, I love liver. That's pretty good.
That's basically it.
That was really good.
Oh, thank you.